Here we are on my homepage, patrickhirth.com. We're going to go through and take a look at the different projects that I completed throughout this class. We'll start with the tech plan. A couple links that I've posted for the tech plan here on my webpage that I think can be valuable to different teachers. The first being the Jefferson County student use policy. We go over it at the beginning of the year, and then people have a tendency to forget about it and not understand what's in it. So I posted that for people to take a look at if they had any questions, along with our cell phone usage policy at more. Students can take a look at that as well. Then another thing that's important to take a look at is your school report card. Each year the district posts a school report card. With doing research on our school, I learned a lot about Moore's different diversity and test scores and reading ability and all this stuff based on looking at the school report card. So I gained a lot of my pre-assessment data based on taking a look at what our school had produced the year before. Each classroom is a little different, obviously, but I think overall the report card does a good job breaking down the overall progress and current situation of the school that you're at. So if you haven't looked at that, you may want to take a look at that at some point in time. And then moving on to my tech plan here. The things I went through on my tech plan, some of the resources available to me at Moore. We have faculty laptops, we have student computers on carts and in our library. We have iPads, 5 color printers, 12 smart boards, 8 clicker sets, 70 document cameras. Some things that I use personally in my classroom on a daily basis are the clickers, the document cameras, the projectors, and then when we need to, and I have a plan going, we'll go to the library to use the student computers. So keep going through the tech plan here. Take a look at some of the things that I would like to have. Some of the adaptive software that I listed that we use here at Moore is larger keyboards, larger computer screens, microphones and hearing aids, wireless mouses, document cameras, smart boards. Going through, we have 2 people that are in charge of technology at our school because we have a high school and a middle school combined. So if you need anything done with technology-wise, they're the best people to get a hold of. Things that I would like to have, I don't have a smart board in my room. I personally would like to have a smart board so I can use it for different activities. I also would like to have a mounted ceiling projector. I have to move my computer if I want to put it on the projector back and forth. Just because of where the plugs are and where the resources are, I can't do it from my desk. So I'd like to have that. I'd also like to have students have a computer. Some of the assignments that I'd like to give with technology I can't give because every student doesn't have a computer and doesn't have access to it. So if every student had a computer, it would really open up my possibilities of using different forms of technology. If we move on to the PD plan that I completed, I would say the PD plan was probably the most challenging assignment that we did so far this term. Some things I want to highlight is the way I communicated with colleagues and things. On Infinite Campus, you have a PLP log where you can log information about a student. So if you call home or you have to meet with them, you can log it so that other teachers can see that you've met with this student, or you've listed their parent's phone number, or you listed the best way to get a hold of them, things like that. So we've been using that a lot over the last couple of years. It's a good way to keep teams connected and organized. And we continue to go down through the list here. Some of the things I'd like to talk about locally with among my colleagues is SkyDrive. This is our team SkyDrive account. If you take a look, you can see team discipline and failure lists and conference days and portfolio pieces. These are all things that have helped our organization immensely. What it does is it eliminates repeated letters or repeated post-it notes or hallway talk. You can just go on, log if a student's got a lunch detention, or you can go on and log if they're missing a portfolio piece, or log positive postcards whenever you've called home positively, so we know who's been contacted, who has been contacted, and the team can just instantly update it automatically. So everybody can view it and it automatically updates for you instantly. So the SkyDrive is an easy way to keep everybody on the same page. Looking at things I do to communicate with people abroad, Pinterest, Twitter, and Skype for educators. The Skype for educators became a great tool for me. The reason I like it is not only can you Skype, but you can also send messages to each other. I sent some messages discussing some standards-based grading We're trying to implement it more into the classroom here more, so I had some questions about it. So I sent out a few messages back and forth to a gentleman, and we discussed it. How does he do it? What does he like? What are his dislikes? And same thing with Twitter. The reason I like Twitter is because once you follow somebody, you have access to their followers, and what it does is it spreads the amount of people you can contact very quickly. You get access to all they can do. So here's a couple Skype or Twitter conversations I had, a couple Skype messages, people abroad all over the country, things like that that have really helped and opened up the ability to communicate with other people. As far as my PD goes, what I like to do is communicate with people at department meetings, which is my entire social studies department. Usually we use resources that can help us think different things with Google Earth or Google Maps and things like that, things that we can use within the classroom. We talk about those at department meetings, things like VoiceThread and Weebly, websites we can use. So we do things like that, and also at our PLC, which is once a week, which is just the 8th grade social studies, which is a little bit of a smaller meeting, but it's easier to communicate with people on a smaller level since it's just a few of us at the meeting. Okay, moving on to my tech unit. The tech unit that I did was on Manifest Destiny and Lewis and Clark. That's where we're at currently. A couple things that I can talk about here that I started my tech unit with was I embedded a SurveyMonkey survey into a website for my pre-assessment. The reason I like SurveyMonkey here is that it provides a great info and great data for me when I needed it. After all the students have completed it, I can go on and rank who has done what and what percentage of questions were answered correctly and who thought this, so I can use that data to set up my unit when moving forward, and also to change my post-assessment to meet my pre-assessment if they miss specific questions. So I started it off with that. Very easy to embed the survey into it. A couple other resources I use throughout the unit here: SurveyMonkey, Weebly, Clickers, Google Earth, and BrainPop, some technology that I use as a review. I use BrainPop and Clickers as a good way to review before a post-assessment. It's a quick BrainPop, if you've never seen it, it's a quick educational video. They're about 4 minutes long on a specific topic. And then the Clickers is a good way to test students to see if they've mastered the standard, because you can get a percentage right after each question, and if it's a low percentage, you have the ability to go back and review the questions. Both of those are in my videos if you would like to take a look at them to help you out. So what we've been doing here with some of the resources that I used is I embedded a project into my unit as well. So one day a week we'll go to the library and students will do additional research. This is where they're forced to answer some questions that makes them think, that makes them do research, that makes them use different resources like Google Earth and all those. Google Earth, Google searches, SkyDrives, using their flash drives, just being prepared to use technology to research. So I embedded a project in, so we've been going to that a lot once a week, which I think project-based grading is a very good way to embed more standards into your curriculum and get them out of the classroom and up and active. So that is what we've been doing with that. And then for my final post-assessment, we're trying to get students used to testing at the end of the year. So as a department, we focused on multiple choice questions with maps and graphs and things like that to get them used to what they're going to see at the end of the year on the tests for the school. So my post-assessment is very similar to my pre-assessment, but it's going to be pencil and paper so that students can get used to using testing strategies that they're going to need at the end of the year. So as a department, we've been focusing on that. So those are my individual presentations throughout the semester. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to send me an Edmodo message, and we can get right back to you. Thank you.